Okay, now I'm going to tell you how to grow your customer base with millennials. I'll share with you how I help businesses to do it, and then I'll share with you 3 ways that you can tap into elementary schools to gain access to the parents yourself. Unfortunately, most of the methods businesses use to try to capture millennials' attention just aren't working. Branding Mag tells us that over 90% of people feel digital ads have become more intrusive over the last 2 years. Even Edgemark Marketing is quick to say, millennials are not fans of digital marketing. They spend loads of time online socializing and perusing information relevant to their needs, but they don't like to be interrupted by a business. In fact, most millennials have an ad blocker on their mobile or desktop or tablet, or all 3, automatically blocking pop-ups, banners, videos, and text. It all boils down to this. Billions and billions in digital ad spending continues to be wasted. And even going back a few years, HubSpot's Global Interruptive Ad Survey shared dismal numbers for other advertising methods, telling us that 94% of all consumers actually skip television ads completely, as I do, and 94% unsubscribe from email, as I do. I suspect that those numbers are even worse today, but here's the kicker. According to a study by Microsoft, advertising now has to connect with an attention span of 8 seconds. 8 seconds! Don't you think a better answer than throwing ads at them while their attention is splintered and fragile would be to pull them away from their distractions, put them in a room, and make them a captive audience so that your message can be heard? That's exactly what we do, only way better, and you can too. I'm going to explain exactly how we generate targeted millennial crowds and how we provide an uplifting experience for them before imparting the messaging. We send them home laughing and singing, and you can do the same, much more easily than you think. Experiential marketing, people. I'm about to show you how you can make it happen without the frantic stress and huge price tag ordinarily associated with this concept. The data behind going experiential is copious and strong, as are the reasons for involving children. 78% of millennials prefer to spend money on an experience or event rather than buying something, according to an Eventbrite survey. Also, 74% of millennial parents choose to spend quality time with their children doing something active rather than something passive, according to one poll and Crayola Experience survey. 74% of event attendees say that they have a more positive opinion about the company being promoted after the event, according to an Event Track Marketing Institute survey. Also, 65% of consumers are helped by live events, giving them a better understanding of a product or service, according, again, to an Event Track Marketing Institute survey. 70% of event and experience participants that purchase once become regular customers, also according to an Event Track Marketing Institute survey. Now, 94% of millennials say they would be highly likely to recommend a brand that they were emotionally engaged with, according to a Gensler brand engagement survey. But why involve children? Well, 32 million millennials are parents with 1.3 trillion in buying power, according to Barclays. Children under 12 influence 500 billion in purchases per year, according to Commercial Free Childhood. Now, you might not expect kids to influence a change in their parents' financial institutions, but here's what happens for us. The kids are the ones who get their parents to come to the event at which the messaging is imparted, and they beg their parents for the sign-up rewards. If you are a parent, you know that we parents do things for our kids well beyond what we would do for ourselves. Sometimes that's just the influence needed to get folks off the fence. All right. Now, 90% of people believe in brand recommendations from friends, according to HubSpot. This is really helpful for post-event referrals within and beyond the school community. And involving the children enables us to provide multiple one-of-a-kind treasures for the families that draw not just the kids in, but the parents as well. 92% of moms want to buy a product supporting a cause versus 81% on average. And in addition, moms purchased more cause-related products in the past year than any other demographic, 61% versus 41% average, according to a Cone marketing study. Now, let me ask you this. Wouldn't you expect this percentage to go even higher when the cause they're supporting is their own children? So I'm going to share with you how I win over these parents, and then I will tell you how you can employ a similar strategy. You'll see that through this method of experiential branding, you are building awareness, community, goodwill, and good press, in addition to building your customer base. Okay, before I pull down the covers and show you everything I do to win over millennials, I think I should pull off the mask and share with you my real identity. I'm not coming to you as the Fortune 500 marketing executive that I used to be. You see, I've been marketing to the age group that millennials now occupy for over 16 years, but in a completely different capacity, and it all came out of my need to help children. Here's how that came about. See, I arrived home from first grade one day with a really painful welt on my head. It wasn't from a fight with another child. It was from the ring on my teacher's hand when she struck me. This is the oldest of several painful experiences I can remember that informed me I was different from the other kids as I was growing up. My inability to follow instructions or just plain listen was often misinterpreted as defiance. I was labeled and I struggled badly, but I didn't understand why. It wasn't until I was 40 that I was finally diagnosed with a brain wiring difference that, though not uncommon, can affect kids' development in different ways. Finally, I had an explanation for everything I had gone through growing up. With that knowledge, I was bound, set, and determined to help the kids who go through what I went through, despite the much expanded knowledge base about the executive function disorder commonly known as ADHD. Now, my first children's book came out in 2000, and I started visiting elementary schools along the lines of trying to help these kids. As a child, I needed something outrageously captivating in order to pay attention in school, and so I set out to create something so fun, so interweaved with curriculum-based humorous lessons that even I would have been compelled to pay attention, learn, and be excited by it. My Curriculabs visits have now become the top literacy programming in the country by multiple standards for doing exactly that for all children. Though I now speak internationally on literacy and learning, early on I wasn't well known. So I had to offer my programs to schools for free. I was able to get paid by marketing my books to the parents at the schools. Now I tend to be brought in by the more affluent schools, the schools who can afford my programs. But I realized that it's the kids in the less affluent schools that really need the help the most. I started donating programs to schools who couldn't afford them, and an epiphany came to me, showing me how I can help more kids, help their families, help their schools, while at the same time helping businesses like yours. I connected with a Massachusetts nonprofit corporation to do exactly that, and the work we do is so important. One way in which we help school children has led to the organic generation of large crowds of their millennial parents. Here's a brief overview of how this happens. See, in addition to getting children excited about reading and learning, another literacy goal is to connect with the parents, because literacy is a family issue. Just as you need access to the parents in order to win them over, so do we, to further our literacy goals and get reading instituted as a staple in the home. Now, it just so happens that because the daytime programming gets the kids so excited for more, they are the ones who pull the parents in for an evening family program. And that's how the crowds are generated. The families see me as a celebrity, and I become an ideal third-party spokesperson who rewards families with visits to their homes and more experiences. Rewards that are truly valued by the kids and by their parents. But they also help me to reinforce reading at the home. The experience I provide for families is adapted to share our funding partners' messaging in the midst of the fun and excitement, and as the reason for the fun and excitement. Now, you may have noticed in the last video that I spent some time talking about the fastest growing branch at Digital Federal Credit Union and the products and services they provide that met the needs of the clients as that branch has been growing. The point to all of that story is this. I can provide the seeds, the compelling events to catalyze growth, but if you don't have the people helping people mentality, the products and services to please the customers, and the adaptability to make changes on the fly, you're not going to see that kind of growth that they're experiencing in Andover, Mass. I can plant the seeds for you, but if you don't take care of them, growth isn't going to occur. Assuming that you do have a rich soil in which to plant the seeds, you can do one of two things. You can work with me to do all of this seeding for you. I'll provide the crowds, I'll get the families laughing, jumping, singing, and thankful for your benevolence. I'll impart some messaging on your behalf, and I'll even guarantee your results, or you get a refund. By the way, at the same time, you are doing a great thing for the kids in the schools when you work with me. Or you can do it all yourself. If you want to do it yourself, here are the 3 things you'll need to accomplish in order to have this kind of access, the kind of access that I have to these millennial parents. First, you'll need to get in the door at elementary schools. Second, you'll need to provide something that's so exciting for the kids that they do the work to pull their parents in for the evening experiences. And then third, you'll need to provide an evening experience that thrills the parents and kids so much they'll be excited to thank the provider, you, for it. All right, now here are the 3 ways that you can try to accomplish that. Option 1, you can hire staff to connect with elementary schools and provide financial literacy education for elementary school students. This is the modus operandi for some financial institutions, and it does something really nice for the kids. Unfortunately, it doesn't give the business direct access to the parents, nor provide them with unforgettable experiences that enamor them to you. You could theoretically expand access to the parents by conducting financial literacy training for them. The problem is this, though they need it, how will you get the parents to show up en masse? All right, option 2, you can contact Children's Literacy Innovations for the name of a person in your area who can get you in the door. They would be happy to let you know about someone they have researched who would be a great match for you and your geography. Their goal is to help kids, and if they connect you with someone who will do that, they've done a good thing for their kids, and they've done a good thing for you. Option 3, as the architect of this and other millennial capture systems, I am providing a free coaching call to help you. I'll answer all your questions about marketing to millennials and help you to figure out the best way to drive millennials through your doors based on your circumstances. I'll help you understand the pros and cons of different methods of capturing millennial attention. If you want to do everything yourself, I'll help you figure out your needs for generating an optimal system for your brand. If you want to find out more about my help in doing all of the work for you, and with a guarantee, I'll be happy to answer questions on that too. Either way, please schedule your free coaching call by clicking the button below. Doesn't cost you but the time on the phone, and you can gain a lot from it. Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking with you.